Welcome to WDW Escape, brought to you by WDW Magazine. The August issue of WDW Magazine is the fairy tale issue, and we have another magical moment from our archives to celebrate. Under the Sea, Take a Journey with Ariel and Friends by Brian McCumsey, which first appeared in issue 77, February 2020. It was November 1989, and I was 6 years old as I sat in the theater waiting for the newest Disney animated feature to begin, The Little Mermaid. Recently, I had moved from Memphis, Tennessee to Appleton, Wisconsin. Everything was different. The school, the people, and especially the weather. Memories from the move are sparse. Even as I attempt to will my synapses to fire and remember, I can only remember bits and pieces. We moved in January, and when we arrived it was snowing. Coming from Tennessee, we didn't have snow boots. My mom, who wanted us to get the experience of playing in our first real snow, rubber-banded plastic bags to our feet. The one thing I don't remember feeling as we moved into a new place was worry. My dad, mom, sister, and I were in an unfamiliar environment, but we had each other, and that was familiar enough. The lights went down, the movie began, and I was in love. The first time the 6-year-old version of me laid eyes on Ariel as she swam, sang, and jumped up onto the rocks, red hair blowing in the saltwater wind, be still my heart. I would have sold my voice to Ursula to walk through that screen and compete with Prince Eric for Ariel's hand. She was stunning, and I was, to quote Friend Owl from another famous Disney film, Twitter-pated. It is possible that nearly everybody gets Twitter-pated in the springtime, but here it was the dead of winter, and I had it bad. As far as I was concerned, I needed to meet this Ariel. She wasn't just any Disney princess, she was my Disney princess. Surely I can't be the only one that felt this way. The movie was a gargantuan hit. You would think that the Imagineers would have gotten out their shovels and broken ground on a new attraction after just weeks of box office receipts. It seems that in the early part of the 1990s there were plans to open an attraction at Walt Disney World, Disneyland Paris, Tokyo Disney Sea, and Hong Kong Disneyland. Whatever the reason may be, no attraction was opened until 2011 in Disney California Adventure. Disneyland is great and all, but we're talking about Walt Disney World here. We needed Ariel in the Magic Kingdom. This is where she belongs. After 23 years of waiting, she arrived December 6th of 2012, exactly a week before my birthday. When the Journey of the Little Mermaid opened in 2012, Ariel was finally home. Fantasyland had been expanded, and more of our favorite stories were jumping off the screen and into our lives. Inside, the dark ride in the Magic Kingdom was essentially a carbon copy of Ariel's undersea adventure in California. Outside is a different story. At the Disney California Adventure attraction, the exterior of the original attraction, Golden Dream, was left unchanged. In the Magic Kingdom, you get Prince Eric's castle. As you approach Prince Eric's castle, you wind your way over bridges and near beautiful cascading waterfalls, the mist on a hot day reminding you of the sea. It's a nice touch that immerses you in the world that the film created. I know that a part of me felt 6 years old as I stared up at the castle, crossed a bridge, and followed the queue as it entered a cave. Once inside, you'll find entertaining touches such as nautical debris of sunken ships and buried treasure. You even see Scuttle as he welcomes you to the attraction. The detail-oriented may notice that Scuttle's voice sounded a bit different. Unfortunately, since Buddy Hackett passed away years before this attraction opened, voice actor Chris Edgerly was brought in to do his best impression. Other characters that have different voice actors include Sebastian and Flotsam and Jetsam. As you near the end of the queue, scurry past stone pillars, and see your ride vehicle in the distance. As you board your clamshell, prepare yourself to venture under the sea. "But Brian," you protest, "I don't want to get my hair wet," which is something my mom always said when we go swimming. But don't you fret. A little Disney magic fixes everything. Your clamshell will rotate backwards. With projection bubbles and blasts of cold air, you'll find yourself on the ocean floor. And there she is, Ariel herself. The attraction leads you through the story and songs of the film. Ariel sings Part of Your World, and Happy Fish line the turn that leads to Sebastian hosting an Under the Sea party. Flotsam and Jetsam eagerly welcome you to watch Ursula sing Poor Unfortunate Souls. Ariel gets her legs, Sebastian serenades with the help of a water-spouting fish, and with Kiss the Girl, Ursula is defeated. Ariel's voice returns, and she marries Prince Eric with King Triton watching from the water. Honestly, the ride kind of has a greatest hits feel to it as it strings the story together in a way that will please younger fans. But as a no longer 6-year-old, it leaves me with a slightly sunken feeling in my heart. It's not as immersive as Pirates of the Caribbean or other top-tier dark rides. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with the Journey of the Little Mermaid. It's bright, it's colorful, and will bring a certain nostalgia to your soul. The issue is that we've been spoiled by the Imagineers, with impressive audio animatronics, in Pandora with Na'vi River Journey, in Epcot with Frozen Ever After, and even not far away in Fantasyland with Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. With the exception of Ursula, I felt a bit like I'm watching a plastic Ariel act out scenes from one of my favorite Disney films. It's possible that's because I'm no longer in love with Ariel. I found my own Disney princess and moved on. Even though the attraction cannot, for me, live up to the classic film, it's hard to envision a vacation when I would skip this journey. Boarding the clamshell not only transports me under the sea, but also back to 1989 as I sat in the movie theater with my mom and sister. The music reminds me of a time when imagination ruled, and it was perfectly acceptable for me to be in love with an animated character. Mostly, I just feel safe. The best relationships in our lives should make us feel safe. They are a place where we can be known and accepted. And while you might not find yourself selling your voice to an evil sea witch in order to find someone who will love you, we should remember that we do this in countless subtle ways throughout our lives. We should never give away what is an essential part of who we are in order to gain love and acceptance from anyone else. There are those around you who will love you equally whether you have fins or legs. Hold closely to them. Moving from Tennessee to Wisconsin was easy because my family loved me in a way that made me feel safe. Saying I do to my wife was second nature because I knew she didn't need me to be anything other than who I was. The stories that I experienced and continue to experience with the people that made me feel safe and secure are fused into my being. These stories and experiences will never grow old, even as Imagineering technology moves light speed ahead. I will try, and challenge you all as well, to avoid the dark caves in life that ask you to make a deal with Ursula. Seek those that bring a sense of calm, even as the ocean rages. So you've got fins? Well, keep on swimming. They're a good look on you. You have been listening to WDW Escape, brought to you by WDW Magazine. When you need more Walt Disney World in your life, WDW Magazine has you covered. Beautiful photography, entertaining articles, and stunning keepsake issues you will enjoy time and time again. Subscribe to WDW Magazine and escape with us every day.